Joshua Whyte. But on August 12th, something has to happen. So first, the man who's been in the ring, inside, on the side of the ring for so many huge fights, we've got to get your take on this. David, what do you make of Dillian Whyte failing this test and the fight being canceled?
It's funny. I got a call from Derek Chisora about a week ago telling me this exact thing would happen. Derek told me a week ago that Dillian's going to fail a drug test.
What?
I thought I didn't pay much mind to it. He's telling me he's fighting AJ a week ago. Said to keep it to myself, but I think the news is out there now that Dillian's not the man going to be in the ring with AJ on the 12th. And Derek's been training for that fight. He's brought the same camp. He's brought the same camp in, the same team at London shoot that he had for the Usyk fight. He hasn't done that since the Usyk fight. He knows he's going to need another Usyk performance where he pushed Usyk harder than AJ pushed him in those 24 rounds that AJ shared with him in Saudi. So very, very interesting. I think there should be an announcement at some stage, but you know, I think it's a great fight. Derek always gives value for money. He's a Londoner. It's at the O2 Arena. You know, if you look at Dillian and Derek, if you look at their last fight, Derek was winning the fight up until he had that point deducted, and unfortunately got chinned in that 11th round. But it was a very close fight. You know, if you look at both of their last performances against the WBC champion Tyson Fury, Dillian got knocked out quite conclusively, and Derek went to points. He lasted the 12 rounds decision. You know, so I think it's a great fight. It's a great stand-in fight. You know, obviously everyone was hyped up for the rematch with Whyte, but you know, and another thing as well, innocent until proven guilty. You know, we've seen it in recent days where, you know, Conor Benn had been dragged through the mud.
Okay, so as you guys just heard, David Haye's whistleblowing, stating that they knew Dillian would fail a drug test. Now, he will fail a drug test, and Derek Chisora will step in for AJ. Derek Chisora knew this before. He said this over a week ago. So the $1 million question is, how in Hades did Derek Chisora know he was going to fail a drug test? See, this is boxing, the sport that I love, that I hate so much. And I really don't like conspiracies, but understand something about boxing. Boxing is a sport where a lot of things are under the table, under the rug, behind the scenes, you're not going to know about. You're not going to know about these things. You're not going to ever really hear the truth. Or if you do hear the truth, it'll sound like something made up. But how many times in certain fights that things happen or things didn't happen, happened? Wow. Let me counterpunch David Haye. If what David Haye is saying is the truth, because I don't want to talk too much about what someone told him. Okay? And to really not elaborate on conspiracies, because this is somewhat somewhat a conspiracy at this point until proven not a conspiracy. How do we find that out? Easy. If Derek Chisora ends up fighting Anthony Joshua, that has to be some truth to what David Haye said. It has to be. Because there's no way that Derek Chisora could tell David Haye, look, Dillian Whyte's going to fail a drug test, and then I'm going to fight him. In fact, I'm bringing these guys in, so it won't be Gerard Washington or Gerald Washington, right? It'll be AJ. So they're going to bump me up. So I don't know what Gerald's going to do. I don't think anyone really cares at this point if he's fighting AJ, because he gets an opportunity to fight for the WBC, then have an opportunity to fight for the former, or fight a former unified two-time heavyweight champion of the world. You know, that's AJ money. So Tyson Fury for the WBC, then AJ money behind that. I think I would do it too if I'm Derek Chisora, because Derek Chisora is one of the money man. Right? And there you go. So if he does fight Anthony Joshua, we have to take what David Hayes said seriously. But then still, if it's truth to that, how and why was Dillian Whyte, or what happened to his test? That means you could further look into what happened to Dillian Whyte. How did you know a guy was going to fail before he actually failed? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. And it just seems strange. It seems set up. It seems like some under the table, under the rug, behind the scenes type situation with this whole situation. And I don't really know. And I heard David Hayes say, well, Derek Chisora, was beating Dillian Whyte, and Derek Chisora had a better fight with Tyson Fury, and Derek Chisora always brings a good fight. Now, all of those things are true, but why are you saying them? If that's the case, if he's so much better than Dillian Whyte, why not fight just Dillian Whyte? Counterpunch. It seems like, okay, well, yeah, I know you're trying to sell us the idea that Derek Chisora will give anybody a fight. Yes, he will, because he's a fighter. But to dress it up like that, it kind of seems strange to me. Like, okay, well, he's doing this and he can do this and he can do that. But I don't really understand what's the relevance of it. If it, because it seems like it would be a fight that he could easily win. And I don't know. This all seems real strange, very interesting, shocking almost. In fact, it is shocking. Because if what David Hayes is doing is true, that means Dillian Whyte was set up some type of way. And if Dillian Whyte was set up some type of way, that means that people or certain groups or a certain side or certain people, let's put it that way, don't want Dillian Whyte to fight AJ. In a nutshell. Again, you guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you all been Counterpunch. Peace.